everyone, I'm Melissa the Crafty Ginger, and I'm showing you another macrame wall hanging. These are a good beginner project. I've done 3 different sizes here just to give you an idea. You know, you can take it wherever you want to creatively depending on how big the wall is that you want to put this on. So this is the biggest cord here. Obviously I used the largest hoops, and then this is like a medium-sized cord, and they have all the same haircut. This one is really tiny. I wouldn't recommend this right away for beginners just because it's kind of hard to work with. It's so small, and I haven't unwound all of these cords yet either because it's just very tedious. So I'm going to show you how to do this. This is very basic knots that I've shown you in my other video. This is a lark's head knot at the top, which is the attaching knot. This is a square knot. And then this is a half hitch, and it's around a hoop. So it's normally you would have like a lead cord, but in this case we're using the hoop as the lead cord. So I'll show you how to do all this. It's really easy, and then you're just going to unwind your cord at the end. If you like that look, or you can keep it wound, of course. And let's get started. So let me tell you about the supplies first of all. Of course you need a hoop, 2 hoops. These silver ones are from Hobby Lobby, and these brass ones here are from Joann Fabrics. So depending on what color you want, Hobby Lobby, Joann, make sure you use your coupon. These are really inexpensive. You can see this smallest one was $1.17. And this larger one was $2.47, and then they usually have sales, you know, 50% off crafts, or you can also use your 40% off coupon. These at Joann were similarly priced. I think they don't have the prices on them, but yeah, they were similar. And use your coupon for that. Actually, these ended up being cheaper at Joann because I had a 40% off total purchase. So you need 2 hoops, and you want them to be, you know, somewhat different sizes. So this hoop here is about an 8-inch hoop. And then this one I believe was a 12-inch hoop. And then this one was a 14-inch hoop. And I believe this one was a 20-inch hoop. So just kind of keep in mind what scale. You want to use a bigger cord if you have the bigger hoops, and smaller cord if you have a smaller hoop. So I have this really skinny cord here. This is about 1/16 of an inch. This is really tiny, and like I said, for beginners I wouldn't recommend that. The other size cord I have, this is a 1/8 inch cotton rope. I got this from knotandropesupply.com. But my favorite cord is from Cordilleria is the store name. It's on Etsy. It's so pretty, and it's already dyed, so you don't have to do anything with it. If you like the natural color, I would definitely get the Knot and Rope Supply, and you can dye it yourself. Or this is the Cordilleria, just in a different color. And same with this. This is a Cordilleria cord too. So I'll link that Etsy shop below so you can find that shop. It's really good. I'm going to do the medium-sized one. So I'll show you how to attach those in just 1 minute. So I'm just going to show you my setup here. This is how I like to work. I got this at Lowe's, and it was backed by like the closet organizers. It's just a clothing rack, you know, for hanging clothing. And then I got these S hooks at a hardware store. I don't even recall where I got them. Just an S hook. And I like to attach my wall hangings. This is a nice portable workspace. So I'm just going to hang this on here, and it does move around a little bit, so you have to keep that in mind. But it's not terrible. I mean, you can kind of secure it a little bit better if you have 2 of them on there. That one's not quite the same size, but usually I will do that. So let me just show you how I started this. This is really the same knot that I've shown you before, the lark's head knot. So for measuring the ropes for this pattern, this is for the medium-sized one. There's 16 cords attached on here. This is 1.5 body lengths. So I'm using the 1/8 inch cotton rope, no color to it. So to measure, I just like to use my body. I'm 5'5", so my wingspan's about 5'5", so keep that in mind. The bigger the cord, the longer you want it. The smaller cords like this, you could do even less than 1 body length, and you're gonna have enough because they're just smaller knots. So to measure, just put your wingspan out, and then that's 1.5 right to the middle of my chest right there. So we need, let's see, we need 16 cords. So I'm going to cut 12 of these at that length, 1.5. And then for the 4 middle pieces, I'm going to cut those at 2 body lengths just because of the haircut that we're giving it. We want it to have longer in the center and then shorter toward the sides. So this cord I'm cutting here is actually going to be 2 body lengths. And I just like to keep the spool on the ground. It's easier to, usually easier to work with, not at the beginning though. It's kind of a little bit sticky. So you're going to put the ends of your cord, find the center. This is the center. And then let me just count my ropes here. So I have, okay, that one's going to go right there. My longer cords are in the middle. So here's the center of your rope. You're going to loop it over the hoop, grab the hoop, and then pull the tail ends through and then snug it up. So that's the lark's head knot. I've showed you in other videos if you want more detail. I need 1 more rope to complete my 16. So 2 body lengths for the 4 center cords. So you just cut it and then your tail ends, bring those together, find the center of your rope and put it over the hoop, pull the tails through. Okay, now just kind of squish them all together. The first row, actually all the rows, are just a basic square knot. To do this square knot, you just leave your 2 in the center, and so these are your anchor pieces, the 2 center. You're going to make like a letter 4. It's a little bit different than, it's not quite straight, it's on a little bit of a diagonal. So you make a 4, and then this hand is going to go over the 4, like as if you're drawing a 4, like that, like as if you would draw it. Now it's going to go behind the 2 anchors and through the left side, and then just tighten it up. Okay, now we're going to do right-handed, make your 4, go over the 4, behind the 2 anchors and through. So I have a more detailed video on that if you need more instruction, but I'm just going to kind of move on. This is a little bit trickier on the hoop, like I said, because it's curved, but you'll get the hang of it. It's not too bad. So we're doing alternating square knots. So the whole first row is going to be all square knots all the way along here. Then we're going to come back. See these? You're going to leave out these 2 and take these 4. So these are the neighbors, and then these 4 are going to be your next square knot. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll show you on the next row and how to complete this. This is a pretty quick project, so I think it's so cute because it could work for like a baby's room or living room or bathroom, just a space where you have one empty wall, you know. It can just be just a filler piece, but they look so cute. Okay, so I forgot to mention this before. This is going on the inner hoop, so that's how it's gonna fit. So just in case that wasn't clear. So now we're on the second row. The first row is done, and let me put this over here. Okay, so now we're doing an alternating square knot. You're gonna leave the end 2 out, and then you're just gonna do your regular square knot with the next 4. So it's creating a square knot in the void space of the first row. So this pattern is 5 rows of doing the same alternating square knot pattern. On the last row, we're gonna leave 1 square knot off the end. So I'll show you when we get there just to make sure that's obvious. And then we'll finish with the half hitch knots and then give it a good haircut. And that's what kind of makes it look like a nice pretty little diamond. So I've been thinking about what I should call this. I think I want to call it the Moon Dream Catcher because it looks kind of like a moon, and you know, a dream catcher is just something like a hoop with some, you know, usually cord or rope in it, and I feel like it looks kind of like a dream catcher. It's not a traditional one, but I like the idea of a dream catcher, so I'm going to call it the Moon. So we have row 1 here, row 2 here, row 3, row 4, and then this is the final row. Like I said before, we're going to leave out 1 on the end. So it's best to end where you have like this last 4 is going to be a square knot. You know what I mean? So you wouldn't want to end on this row because it wouldn't be a nice odd number, if that makes sense. Okay, so I'm gonna remove this ring really quick. I just wanted to show you how much space we have left. Let me show you that. So the reason that you leave out the end is because the hoop is curving in, obviously. So we don't want it to be, we want one more row right here to fill this space in, but we don't need one over here because it's so close. So I'll remove that. So the last 4 cords, I'm just gonna hang up over here so we don't get them mixed in. And then just continue with your square knots all the way across. After this row, we're going to be using the hoop to do the half hitch knots. And then we'll be giving it a haircut. So you can see this project is really fast. And I like to start cutting from the middle, the center too, just so I can kind of figure out how long I want it to be. And then from there, cut it shorter. And you don't have to do the same haircut as mine, obviously. I just think it looks kind of pretty with the diamond pattern. So yeah, this is just a, you know, half-hour project. It's so quick. Okay, so now we're done. I'm going to take these down. Now we can put our second hoop on. So, okay, we're going to start with the double half hitch, and it's each one you have to do twice. Each cord has 2 half hitches. So what you're going to do for that is take your end cord, put it over the hoop, and then pull it to the left. Okay, let me show you again. So over the hoop. So you're just kind of like making a knot on itself. And you can tighten these up. You know, I'm just going to kind of do them loosely because we want the center to be tight. So take this. Here's my cord. And this hoop is acting as if it's the lead cord if you're doing a double half hitch. So you just go round. And you have to do it twice to secure it. That's the purpose of doing it twice. So snug it up and pull it out of your way. Make sure you don't miss any of these because I've done that a couple of times where I get to the end. It's not a big deal if you do. You just reincorporate it at the end. Just spread the other loops apart and you can put it right wherever it needs to go. So you're going to continue that all the way across in the same manner. Oops. Okay, so we have all these on. Now to tighten them up, you just grab the back of one of the knots and just pull the tail. So that just kind of snugs everything up. And I purposely left these sloppier just so I could kind of show you. Don't worry if it looks sloppy before you do this step. It doesn't need to be, you know, perfect. You can always fix it. That's what I like about macrame. You can pull it out if you don't like how it turned out and you've, you know, have a bunch of rope into the project. You can always just take out the knots and redo it. It's not that hard. So yeah, now I'm just snugging everything up. So over here is a little bit loose. Just kind of pull those tighter. So you want it to be pretty tight so that everything is laying nicely. Let's see. So what I'm grabbing here, let me show you, this might be easier, is, see, each one of these has 2 loops. I'm grabbing this part right here to tighten it up. So that one's not going to be tightened because I need to push it in a little bit. I'll do that in a second. So just grab that and then pull the tail. And then there's the last one. Okay. Now you want to kind of fan out your knots so that they look evenly dispersed. Okay, now for the haircut portion. So you want to find your center. Make sure you didn't miss any, so just turn it around. I've done that a couple of times now. So count to the center. Here's my center 4. So let's see, I want it to be pretty similar to the length on this one. So I'm going to cut my center to about here. Now to get an even haircut, so here's your center 2. What I've been doing is just holding the center piece next to it and then counting up, like, it doesn't have to be perfect, of course, just like 3 little twists of the rope. So I want it to be about right there. And then do the same on this side. So then you kind of get like that nice tiered pattern, and then just pull down your next few cords here. Let me just take a few of them down. Okay. So again, just count up about 3. And it starts to go a lot quicker once you get kind of a system down. And then from this side, so you can see that's already giving us that nice diamond shape. So I'll finish cutting this, and then to untwist it, I like to just kind of fray the ends. I like to hold on to one of the, it's a 3-ply piece. Hold on to one of them and just kind of go like that. And then I'll hold on to another one. It'll start to kind of untwist. I mean, there's obviously just untwisting rope. It's really super tedious, but, or you can also just twist it in the opposite direction. It'll start to untwist. Or you can leave it. You know, you don't have to untwist all of them. You could just do a couple here and there if you like that look. So let me finish this up and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so it has its haircut. You can see it looks very similar to its twin over here, its gold twin. I am going to untwist all of these cords because I think it looks better. I think it gives it a more full look. So on the ground here, you can see all the extra rope. So you want to be really conservative when you're cutting, you know, your rope to begin the project. You don't want to have that much excess. And you know, I usually don't have that much. I was a little bit more conservative with this project. So I'm just gonna go sit down for a while and untwist these so that it looks the same as its twin brother over here. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Melissa the Crafty Ginger, and this is a macrame wall hanging, and it's called the Moon.